When I saw this SaaS video pop up, I thought I have to recreate this. And by mastering SaaS motion graphics, you can earn thousands of dollars every single month. So today I'm going to show you exactly how to recreate this. We're going to push what's even possible with After Effects, including 3D glass elements. I'm super excited. Let's jump into it. So I'm here in After Effects and let's create a new composition first by creating a new composition. And I'm going to use the 4K 25 frames per second preset and just hit OK. Now let's start with the first element, and the first element is a rounded rectangle. Just go to the rounded rectangle tool, make sure the fill is set to none, hit OK. And let's set the stroke to be white, hit OK. And 8 pixels is actually pretty fine. Now let's just drag a cool element that looks something like this. I'm going to make it a bit less rounded, probably something like this. And then of course we're going to go to the align and center it in our composition. This is a great starting point. Now let's make it 3D and make sure your classic 3D is set to advanced 3D. You also need to have your After Effects updated. I think you should be fine with the 2026 version. Now let's make this shape 3D and I'm gonna add another element. And for this element, I'm just gonna use a normal rectangle tool. I'm gonna turn the stroke to none and I'm gonna add a fill to this by clicking on the fill and changing it to linear gradient. Now let's go into this linear gradient. Let's remove some of these things. And by the way, this is a trick I've never seen. We're gonna delete all of these things just like that and just have a white to dark black gradient. Hit OK. And now let's just draw a quick shape. Can just be something like this on our layer. It will look really ugly, but what we're going to do, we're going to use this as our light map. So I want to make sure this light hits a bit different. I don't like what it looks like. So let's go into the rectangle. Let's go into the gradient fill. And then we see the start and end point. Let's set the start point first to also 0 by 0. And then let's drag that second value down so we have a bit of a gradient. This doesn't have to be much because it will get stretched quite a lot. And you can also adjust this later. Now I'm just going to move it maybe a bit to the right, probably something like this. And we can also just click on the gradient fill and to the selection tool. Then we can see our layers and we can also make sure that it's a bit more to the top, maybe here. Let's move this with it. Let's quickly turn this off. I think this is quite a nice light softbox hitting from the left. Now we need to turn this into a light and we do this by going to layer, new light, and then change the light type to environment. Intensity 50% is fine. We can adjust this later on, hit OK. Now in this environment light, we can change the source to be our shape layer. And this is the trick. It will turn our shape layer into a light. And what we can do now is go into the transform and change the X rotation and Y rotation. This is basically where the light is coming from. And as you can see, this will already affect our layer. Now it's a bit difficult to see how it affects this layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our shape and just quickly add a white fill to this. And this will make it a bit easier to align this. So let's change the Y rotation. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this shape layer, go into the material options and change the specular shininess to first, let's say 90%. And what this will do, it will just make it a bit more reflective. So if we now change the X and Y rotation of the environment light, we'll see it a bit more easy. As you can see, we have our beautiful shape layer light. Now we can actually adjust the gradient and then you can also see what that does. So for example, if I now and we'll move it to something like this. Now it's the wrong side, but you can also see our gradient. And as you can see, it spreads it out quite a lot. So you don't even have to have that gradient really far from each other. And if you now actually adjust the gradient, you can also see that this will affect the light and also how hard this gradient will be. And we can actually find the light since it's now reflective. We can just change the Y rotation. Let's move it a bit. And as you can see, we have a nice soft gradient here. Now we can adjust the end scale, end point and start point of the gradient, and that will adjust the gradient also. By the way, you can also use draft 3D that will make it a bit quicker to have your preview. Now, as you can see, it's coming from the right. I actually don't want that. I want it to come from the left. So to change that, we can just go into the shape. We can just turn it on just for a second. We can go into the gradient fill and then we can just simply change it. Maybe make it a bit sharper while we're at it anyway. Probably something like this. There we go. Let's turn this back off. And as you can see, it's gone. That means we need to find the light again. So let's just change the Y rotation till we see our light again. Let's see. And there we go. And as you can see, a nice soft gradient coming from the left top. And this is such a cool technique because you can change this into another shape, create really cool soft boxes. But for now, this is exactly how I want. I'm going to go back to our original shape. I'm going to remove the fill again because we don't need that. And if you now click away, we already have this really cool, almost like light sweep on this element. That is exactly what we want. Now let's open this shape and let's open the geometry geometry options and I want to add a bit of extrusion to this, probably something like 10. And I'm also gonna change the transparency a bit. So let's go to T for transparency and let's set this to 70%. So it's a bit translucent. Maybe I'm gonna make the stroke a bit bigger, maybe 15 pixels, so we can see this a bit better. And this already looks really cool. As you can see, there will be some translucence here, and that's exactly what we want. Now let's add a new null object, layer new null object. Let's make that 3D and let's link this shape to this null object. Now I can press R for rotation and set a keyframe for the Y rotation, drag this out a bit, and let's make it so it's something like here. So we can see a bit better what we're working with. And as you can see, it already looks quite cool. However, I want it to be a bit more thick. So let's start out with that. Let's open the shape. Let's open the geometry options and let's increase the extrusion depth by just a bit, probably something like this. Now here comes the trick. We're going to duplicate the shape, and basically there's going to be a shape inside of this shape, and we're going to make this extrusion depth probably a bit less thick. Set this to 12, press P for position, and then move it a bit in the Z space. And then I'm going to go into the stroke color and make this a bit darker. Hit OK, press T for transparency, and then let's increase this by quite a lot. Set this to 100%. And as you can see, we now have two layers, so like light, dark, light, and that's exactly what we want. Now we're going to add that cool glow to this. And to do so, I'm going to select all of these elements, click on the first one, and then hold Shift, click on the last one, Command Shift C to pre-compose it and move it all into the new composition. And now I'm going to add a deep glow to this. Now, if you don't have the deep glow plugin, that's totally fine. You can also use a normal glow, but with the deep glow, I just have a bit more control over what we're doing. So what I can do is I can go into the style and I'm going to go into the tint and change the tint mode to monocolor. And then I'm going to change the color to a blue color. We can also make it a bit of that same bluish, something like this. And then I'm going to increase the exposure by quite a lot, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a levels effect to this. And just make sure this levels is above the deep glow. And then we can adjust the levels of this layer to make it more bright and to also add more contrast to this. And this is really important because as you can see, this will really sell the effect. Now, as you can see, this already looks really awesome with the light, how it sweeps around and how it hits the elements. Now, of course, when I play this looks really ugly because we still don't have a nice animation. But what we can do is we can go into this pre-comp, go into this null, press U and select these keyframes. Of course, hit F9, and I'm going to ease it by using the full stack editor plugin. However, you can also go into the graph editor and select these keyframes and then the handles to make it a bit more eased. And then I'm going to drag out these keyframes a bit. And keep in mind, this is still in draft 3D mode, but I think this already looks awesome. Now, the cool thing is that everything we do in this comp will have that same effect to it. So for example, I have a vector here of a plus. You can't see it now because it's black, but we can right click this and then create shapes from vector layer and change the fill to white to actually see it. And now if we turn this 3D and we link this to the null object that we created before, and we go back to the comp, as you can see, it will automatically have that light to it. Now, it's not perfect. It's a bit too blue in my opinion. So you can even go to the effect controls and also go into the tint strength and change the tint strength a bit, or we can change the levels so it becomes more white, but then I want to decrease the exposure by a lot. Or what you can also do is go into the pre-comp and change the environment light to be a bit brighter. It's now set to 64%. You can turn that on a bit and it will make the whole composition a bit brighter. So let's set this to 100%, for example. If we go back to our comp, as you can see, that will brighten up everything. I would say the levels are actually a bit too harsh now. I'm even gonna grab our dark black stroke that we created before and increase the stroke a bit. So it's basically a bit bigger, sticking out a bit. So if we now go back to the comp, as you can see, it will make the contrast even higher. And I'm also gonna change the null so it's even smoother, especially at that last keyframe. I wanna have it ease a bit nicer. And as you can see, we have this really cool animation already with this nice glow. And of course, this plus is way too big. However, we can now just scale this down and put this on the right position, just like that. And then we can do the other icons too. It's basically as simple as just dragging it in, right clicking, create shapes from vector layer and making it 3D. And of course, changing the fill to white and then positioning it where you want it. Now, what if we want to add text to this? What if we want to add buttons to this? We can do that, but they will also be affected by the deep glow and the light. And I don't actually want that. So I just want to copy this null and go back to the comp 5 that we created before and paste the null here. And we can even use classic 3D here. You don't have to use advanced 3D. That will also save a bit of render speed. And now I can just add text here, for example, canvas. We can make sure it's below the pre-comp, so it's affected by the deep glow, as you can see. It's very nice. Make it 3D and link it to the null. It's really that easy, and now it should just move with the layer. So if we now play this back, as you can see, it will just move with the layer. Nothing too crazy, but this also means that we can just fade it in by hitting T for transparency, setting a keyframe, dragging this out and setting this to 0. So this will just be a simple animation where it just fades in just like that. Now we can add some buttons to this by going to the rounded rectangle, turning the stroke off and adding a really like dark grayish fill, something like this. And then we can just draw a shape here. Of course, we need to go into the properties and make it less rounded, something like this. And again, also make sure that this is below that pre-comp, so it's affected by the blue light, and of course also below the canvas, so we also see the text. Make it 3D, link it to the null. Now, of course, what's easier is you just create all of these elements and then all link them at once. Now let's go to the next animation where we zoom out from an icon. And before we go there, I just wanted to show you that basically continuous motion is super important. Like what we can do, for example, is create a new null, link this old null and this pre-comp to this null, and just add a subtle scale on this. And this will basically add a zoom out effect. So we can use that in the next one. So there's already a bit of movement here where it zooms out. And for that icon animation, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new composition. We can call this icon. And I'm going to go to our pre-comp and copy the environment light, the shape, and maybe even an icon just for reference. Copy it. And once you copied it in, we can just rotate this plus just to see what we're doing here. Set this to 90 degrees. I'm going to center it a bit and I'm going to scale it up a bit. I'm going to go into the plus outlines and I'm going to go into the geometry options and change the extrusion depth a bit, quite a bit, because we want to make it so it's nicely visible. Then I'm going to change the transparency a bit. So go to T for transparency, set this to 90 so it's a bit translucent. Then let's go into the material options and change this specular shininess to 90%. Now what happens if we change the environment light X rotation? We can actually change what this icon looks like, and it will create this really cool effect where we can even keyframe it. So let's set this to maybe 200 degrees, go a bit further, and then set it so it goes over the icon, just like that. Easy ease this, go into the graph editor and let's ease it nicely. And the cool thing is we can just now select this by holding Shift, Command Shift C, move all attributes, and just go to the composition that we made before, go to that deep glow and levels, copy these over, Command C, Control C on Windows, and then paste it on here. And it will add that same effect to this, but just a bit more cool in my opinion. In this case, I do want to change the levels a bit, so to maybe something like this, really crushing those dark colors. So it will become this really shiny icon and it will have this really awesome effect, almost like a metal glass type of look. Look how awesome this looks with the shininess. Makes me really happy. Now, of course, we can just add some text here, main, just put it around here. We can also move this below the pre-comp again, so it's affected by this layer's glow. As you can see, it will change the color on this text. And then, of course, we can add an animation, layer, new null object, link these both elements to that null, and set a keyframe for the scale and position. And then we can just go a bit further and then scale it down, just like that. Now, of course, hit U on your keyboard, select these keyframes and easy ease them, and add a nice graph to this. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click on scale. And by the way, you need to turn off show animated properties to just see the scale, and then select this first keyframe and just make it so it starts already a bit like that. So there's already a bit of like scale animation. Very nice. And then position, I'm going to do the same thing, or maybe not even. Let's see what it looks like. It already looks quite cool. Maybe we'll do it a bit so it also has a bit of position keyframes to it. Very nice. Now let's go ahead and create that line in the middle. And for that, I'm just going to go to my project and duplicate the pre-comp that we made before. And I'm just going to drag this in just like that. Let's move this a bit to the beginning so we can see that it's around here. Let's go into that pre-comp and we have to adjust it a bit. First of all, I want to make it so it's right towards the camera. So let's set this to -90. So it looks something like this. And to animate animate this, nothing crazy. We can just hit P for position on the white outer layer and we can just move that in. Just set a keyframe. I'm gonna remove this Y rotation keyframe. I'm gonna drag this out a bit and I'm gonna move it in from the top. Of course, easy ease this. And I'm gonna make that black stroke. I'm gonna make that a bit lighter, just like that. Let's go back to that original comp and copy the levels and deep glow again and paste that on here. And we'll have that really cool effect. Now let's go a bit further till we're here, around here-ish. Let's move this where we want it, probably around here. And then let's link it to the null and let's make sure it starts a bit earlier. I might have to adjust the timing a bit. So that will look like this. And as you can see, it's a really awesome stroke effect. It's not exactly the same, but we could get it the same by adding a bit of depth to it. And now for the last one, the publish button. I hope you've been waiting for this because this is going to be awesome. And for this, I'm going to again make a new composition by going to the composition button and hitting OK. And I'm going to duplicate that first pre-comp that we made and drag that in because I'm going to reuse that. And I'm also going to get that deep glow and levels again. That will save a lot of time. So this already looks like this. However, I'm not happy with it because we need to change it a bit. Let's go into the pre-comp. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add a fill to this. So we can just go to that first shape layer and add the fill. We'll just make that white, hit OK. And let's go to that second layer and make the fill like dark, something like this. Let's go a bit to the beginning and let's also open these layers and add a bit of depth to this. I don't like the extrusion depth of 20. I want it to be quite thick, probably something like 80. And the same with the other one. Let's go into the geometry options and change the extrusion depth also to 80. Maybe a bit less, something like this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the stroke so it is really like below the surface, something like 15. And as you can see, this already will give this awesome glass effect also with these edges. Now let's quickly turn this to full so you can see what this looks like. Look at those edges with the refraction. Looks awesome in my opinion. However, this needs to be more soft. And to do this, I'm just going to play around with the levels a bit. Gonna change it so it's a bit less bright, maybe even crushing those blacks a bit less, adding a bit of light to it, just like that. And that's exactly what I want. And now I'm going to show you another tip, and that is basically adding another light to this. So we now worked with the environment light all the time, but we can actually add a new light to this by going to layer, new light, and just adding a point light. Just a simple point light will change this whole scene. If we now just drag this to the right, press P for position and move it a bit so it's a bit closer. Let's move it to the right here and let's go into this light and increase the light intensity. We can basically add a cool edge light to this, like somewhere around here. If we go back to our comp, as you can see, that will add this glow to this. This is maybe a bit too much. Let's move it a bit. I will also go to the shape and change the bevel style to convex. That will add a bit of like edge to it so the light can basically hit this edge. We now go back to the comp. As you can see, look at that glow on the side. I love it. Now we might have to keyframe that light because in the beginning you will really see it in the reflection. It's like looking at the sun. So we have to basically like keyframe the intensity. It's nothing too crazy. You can just set a keyframe, go a bit more to the beginning, and you can also see it here, right? If you just set it to 0, it will just fade in like nice and smooth. We can add ease to this. It doesn't have to be crazy, but that will add so much more texture to this. Very nice. Now again, it's just repetition. We can just copy this null object, go to the comp and paste it here, keep it 3D and change it to classic 3D in this composition. We can add the word publish here. Now this time I'm not going to move it below it because then we can't see it. However, we can actually press T for transparency and set it to like 90. So there's a bit of at least influence of the background. We can make it a bit bigger and then we have to resize the shape a bit by going into it and changing this shape. For example, I'm going to make it a bit rounded, more rounded, something like this. Let's copy that value over and paste that into the roundness of the other one. And then also with the size, I'm just going to open these both, go into the contents, rectangle, rectangle path, and same with the other one, rectangle, rectangle path. And I'm going to link this size to the other size so we can just adjust this. And I'm also going to parent it to this. There we go. So we can just move it a bit. Probably want it to be a bit like this. Move the text a bit and link this to the null, make it 3D. This looks so awesome, right? Now, if you add all of these elements together and you add some more text and images, you'll get something like this. And if you want to learn more about SaaS motion graphics, then do join the Full Stack Editor Club. You will also support me. There's now also a money back guarantee where you get a client within 90 days. You will get access to hundreds of hours of deep dives, an amazing community of editors that are there to help you out, and also as an accountability partner, weekly Q&As and a lot more. So do check that out. Link is in the description. Don't forget to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.